Or afternoon, YouTube. This is Errol the Comic Chief here, and boy oh boy do I have a review for you. Today we will be reviewing Jason Aaron's The Avengers issue number 695. Or 2018 number 5. The cover art by Ed McGuinness features Ghost Rider driving in the backseat of Ghost Rider's Hellcharger, making a clean getaway from a dark celestial. I remember when I bought this issue and I had to take a second look at the issue thinking it was a Marvel issue of The Flash. It's pretty gnarly. The issue is titled The Secret Origin of the Marvel Universe. I have to say that Marvel knows Jason Aaron must have some big testicular fortitude, because this issue might be a game changer for the Marvel Universe. Here's why. The issue opens up with Loki narrating a flashback to when the first Celestial, the Progenitor, came to Earth those 4 billion years ago because he was sick, dying, infected, and he did come to Earth to die. Did he? We learned that what infected him were the horde that we have seen throughout the last 4 issues. Furthermore, we learned that as he was dying, his vomit, blood, and radioactive tears gave birth to Earth's inhabitants. So the sickness that was inside him embedded itself into the land and the seas around him, and eventually birthed the origin of Earth as we know it. Loki tells all of this to Captain America, who is still chained up and imprisoned. We come to find out that the Celestial, the 1 million BC Avengers fought those many years ago, was the first Celestial to visit Earth, most likely to come find the Progenitor. And the Progenitor was thought to be its lover. So that Celestial, Zegreb the Aspirant, found the Progenitor and was driven to madness, and immediately infected with the same horde that killed its lover the billions of years before. When these 2 Celestials were found to be missing, it drew the attention of the first host to come back and attack and conquer Odin's team. All but Odin were defeated. And instead of finishing Odin off, the first host evacuated the Earth. So Loki assumed that the plan of the first host was to contain the horde and leave it buried on our Earth so it could not spread throughout the rest of the galaxy. Captain America finds an opportunity and tries to break free from Loki's chains and attacks him. Before Loki could retaliate, a fellow hero comes in to save the day. In the last issue, Ghost Rider submerged his Hellcharger into the ocean to do a sneak attack on the Dark Celestials, with the final panel showing him getting ready to make the attack. Well, the climax build-up, I think it was worth it, because he breaks Captain America free from his imprisonment. And yeah, okay, so the cover had that major spoiler alert. They make that clean getaway to get back to the rest of the Avengers. We cut to Doctor Strange and Iron Man flying through the now burning skies. And we finally reached the point where the final host and the Dark Celestials are finishing what they came to do. Boiling seas, burning skies. As Iron Man makes preparations for battle, Ghost Rider taps into his headset and lets them know that he rescued Captain America and that they are ready to meet up. Ghost Rider and Captain America land in Russia. They attempt to evacuate a town and save it from the destruction of the final host and its minions. We have a nice panel of Loki now in chains and locked in the Hellcharger's trunk. The final host and Dark Celestials are in full battle mode. As the seas flood the Russia town and they begin stomping through and destroying everything, it's like they're giant Godzillas. Iron Man and Doctor Strange join in on the fight, and they're saving the townspeople and building protection spells just to minimize and prevent casualties. They're heroes, that's what they do. And as the horde make their way to the fight, Black Panther and Captain Marvel, they beam down to the party, and it just so happens that the research and giant beam that they were powering up in issue number 4 was to supercharge Captain Marvel's physiology and Black Panther's suit with the same energy as the horde creatures have, so that they could battle them. And now they really were exterminators. So this is so good. The Avengers, they assemble, Ghost Rider gets a cool Racer X nickname, and my favorite panel in the book shows the Avengers silhouette standing before the final host's large silhouette. This is just absolutely fantastic. As I was thinking that we only needed She-Hulk and Thor to join in, the very next page shows them storming in. The humor in these panels, they're probably my favorite in the book. And it's funny because Doctor Strange asked them where they've been. And She-Hulk responds with smashing, and Thor responds with seeking answers from Odin, and She-Hulk elaborates with smashing and kissing, and I couldn't stop laughing. And I'm really looking forward to a Thor-Jennifer romance, and man. So, which by the way, I like that She-Hulk embraces that she is still Jennifer Walters when she's hulked out. After reading a lot of Immortal Hulk, it doesn't feel like Bruce and Hulk are the same person anymore, and we'll save that for another review. That kind of makes me sad, but I love it. And they do feel like separate personas. Okay, so back to this review. I hope She-Hulk and Jen, they don't ever go that route. As Thor gets ready to consume the blood of Ymir, knowing it could kill him, She-Hulk offers to partake in half of it, essentially splitting it to minimize the damage to Thor. It immediately powers them up, and they go full Super Saiyan mode and become giants worthy of fighting the giant Celestials. As the battle continues, Captain Marvel and Black Panther are taking out the Horde like nothing, and Iron Man calls on a giant armor that was stored on Mars known as the God Killer Mark II? Wow! Fun fact, the Mark I armor was designed by the Aspirants and used to battle Celestials in a war many eons ago. So this was actually a pretty great nod to some classic stories, and I always love it when they tie in back to the classics and don't just retcon stuff. We get some nice interaction between Ghost Rider and Captain America as well. As Ghost Rider is having doubts of Avengers level superheroing, to this point he has only fought drug dealers and a handful of demons, Captain America gives him a pep talk. Captain America, being the great military leader he is, motivates him and finds a way to connect with a way that would give him the confidence that he very much needed. So he points out that he can turn Hell Chargers and tractors into ultimate Ghost Rider weapons, so why not go above and beyond? And he tells him he might be the greatest Ghost Rider he's ever known. So wow! Robbie finds a dead Celestial and it dawns on him, and he imbues the spirit of vengeance into the Celestial, helping to level up that playing field. Okay, I lied. These are my favorite panels. This is my favorite page. We see a flame-headed Celestial picking itself up off the ground, and I can see this in the movies, and the artist put a nice touch with a tractor next to him showing how massive the Celestials are compared to that tractor, and there was one more bulb-brightening idea in Ghost Rider's head. He starts to realize he doesn't know how strong he truly is and what his powers are truly capable of. The final two-page spread shows an ever more confident Ghost Rider, giant-sized Thor and She-Hulk, and the God Killer Mark II Iron Man getting ready for their final battle. Okay, that's it. On to the roundup. The art, it was fantastic. The writing was phenomenal. And if Marvel shows you to retcon the original Marvel Universe origins, then Jason Aaron must be badass. The plot, the overall story arc seems to have jumped forward massively in the past 2 issues alone, and for an already fast-paced issue, it's kind of hard to believe that they're just telling this story in a few amount of issues. So I'm glad Marvel didn't decide to draw this out for an entire volume and 23 issues. I mean, it's so good. The character development, it's fantastic. The romance between Hulk and Thor, it's my favorite. But you can tell that these Avengers are probably most beneficial to Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. In the recent past, there's been all this hype on Cosmic Ghost Rider, but Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider has been underrated and undervalued, and he's quickly becoming my favorite. I find myself wanting to grab his origin story. So this is a good one for him. Great read from Marvel. Win. Great for us. So I give this issue a straight 5 out of 5. Well done, Jason Aaron. Let me know what you think, YouTube. Do you agree? Do you disagree? That's all I got. This is the Comic Chief going offline.